Can anybody got it? Hey, there we go.
Oh, we have audio now. Fantastic.
Woo! All right, let's get this show on.
Go ahead and just say let's talk racing.
Welcome to Let's Talk Racing.
We have Stephen Durbin and Michael Leech here. We're broadcasting live from Moonstar Restaurant in downtown Newport News. Hampton, I'm sorry. I get them all confused.
You don't hear any gunfire, do you?
It's all
Well,
connected.
downtown Newport News, there's no gunfire.
Well, that's been a long day for me.
So who's our guest tonight, Roger?
Well, we got Marie off on the wing there.
And she's here to talk about.
Busy talking shop with Hudson.
And she's here to talk about sponsorships, correct?
Sponsorships.
That's great. Okay.
Caitlin's supposed to be calling in. Once I give her the number, once this thing finishes doing a stupid update, it says do not have any calls during the update.
Nice. That's always convenient.
Yeah, we don't want that to happen then.
So we have some local racing results, or do we?
It was a night of destruction, so I don't know how many.
We have the results from Wilkesboro.
Yes, how was that?
Wilkesboro was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Very big, fast racetrack.
See if you got dial tone there.
Ah, amazing.
On speaker. See how long the speaker is.
Might have to pick it up. It's a new phone.
All right, I'm gonna leave
Give
it
us a
for
second,
Roger.
please.
Let's see. Pushing the button labeled speaker.
We have a new
didn't work for
phone,
some
and
bizarre
we're trying to
reason.
figure this thing out. I didn't get to test before I buy.
I think. It does have a speaker. All right. Good.
Okay. Sweet.
All right.
Anyway, Wilkesboro, big fast place. It was a lot of fun. Had several different shows. Ran Saturday afternoon, which was cool. Running in the daytime. I don't have any lights out there.
Yeah.
It was pretty unique racing on a 5/8 mile. You don't really think about the differences between a 5/8 mile and a 4/10 mile racetrack until you drive around one at 140 miles an hour. Much harder on equipment than the larger racetracks. But Cale Gale won. He did a great job. It was a big tire management place. It was a lot of fun. Chris Holman finished second. He's had a lot of good runs like that this year. Trevor Edwards third. A good run by him. AJ Winstead fourth. And then we had a guy, I can't remember his name. He's not on the results page. Came in from the USA Mods, finished fifth.
Okay.
And he actually led the first about 65 laps.
So you made a good showing then.
Yeah, and he, like I said, big tire management racetrack. He used up the right rear tire and moved himself on back. I had the same problem. We didn't hit a setup that saved the tires.
Yeah.
We paid for it later.
Push speaker.
See if that works.
Hey, Caitlin. Answer it. Caitlin, can you hear us? Hello, Caitlin. Hello, Caitlin. Did we lose
Says
Caitlin?
something's there.
Hello, hello. Hello.
I think he just hung up on her.
Call back again, Caitlin.
We're still working this out, but we'll get it now.
That's what happens when you get new phones played
Yeah.
with.
It's amazing how much better new stuff works than old stuff.
Oh, I know. Oh, whatever. Is North Wilkesboro the dog leg is after the start finish, like more towards turn one, isn't it?
It's not really, doesn't really have a dog leg.
So I know the shape of it's a little awkward.
Yeah, it is now. Turns
Not really the dog leg, but
turns 1 and 2 are tighter than 3 and 4.
okay.
You are driving uphill. Down when you drive down the front stretch to turn 1, you are driving up a hill, and then you're driving downhill down the back stretch. So it's kind of a tough place to set up for because you've got there's no your corner entry speeds are different on each end of the racetrack. Braking zones are different, so it's a neat place.
There you are.
Keeps you guessing on your toes, sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you have to make compromises. You have to you have to decide where you want to be good and be good there, and then you just have to get up on the wheel and drive your way through the rest of it.
Exactly. Was like the drive off the turn more important than going in? Or?
Well, the hard part about getting up off the turn was not to hurt the tires.
Yeah.
Because the asphalt there is so rough. Can you hear us, Caitlin?
Do we have Caitlin?
Can you hear us, Caitlin?
Hello?
Oh, that's
hi.
quiet. We need
It's
those
sort of
batteries.
quiet.
Volume's all the way up.
Yeah, we're missing batteries.
We're playing with the new stuff over here, so we had to do a different phone setup.
Try not to mind us too much.
Can you hear us all right, Caitlin?
Barely, but I think that I might be able to work this time.
A little bit much background noise.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
How are we going to do this?
I got
Wanna
two
try the
phones,
old one?
Caitlin.
You want to try the old one?
Yeah, chat room says, "Well, got that when you drive down to turn 1, you're going uphill. When you drive down the straightaway, you're going
Stand by,
uphill."
Caitlin. We haven't driven you crazy yet. We will shortly.
We're working on it, that's for sure.
Because it takes time to do anything correctly.
We're up, hung up on her again. Or did we not?
Did we keep her?
I don't know.
No, we lost her.
Oh, we got a speaker though. That sounded a little bit louder than that one.
Down the rest of these numbers.
The rest of these numbers?
363 8274.
They didn't do anything.
Didn't do anything.
I hear static. That's about it.
Oh, I bet that stupid phone's doing the update.
Probably so.
I'm going to call it in just a second.
I need a cell phone. Just gonna hold it here.
Almost should.
If I would have thought about it, probably like a computer speaker or something, we hook it up to your phone.
That probably would have been key. Or finding a way to isolate some of this background noise.
Yeah. I don't know how well we'll be able to talk to her, but we can figure that out.
Excuse my backside, y'all.
Hello?
All right, Caitlin, we're going to do it this way.
Okay.
I think it is louder.
Yeah, I think Roger's BlackBerry is more effective than the landline phone.
Can you hear us, Caitlin?
Yes, I sure can.
Awesome.
Cool. So you got a truck ride for Phoenix. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm just coming from the test today, so I'm really excited. The truck seems pretty stable, and I think that we'll be ready for the test, ready for the race after this test. So everything went pretty well. We tested at South Georgia Motorsports Park today, which is it's a really neat little track. I've never been out there, but it's T-shaped, and so it kind of gave us the feel similar to Phoenix. So it was a good day, and I'm excited to get out there. Thursday is our test day. Not this Thursday, but next Thursday is our test day, and so then we can shake down the track. I think we have 2 hours of practice, and then get ready for the race next Friday.
Cool. Sounds like fun. Is this this is not your first time in a truck, is it?
No, this is my second time in the truck. The first time with DGM racing in the Oil Medics, but first time this year though.
Cool. Okay. What else have you been doing this year aside from truck racing?
A lot of public relations. Not a whole lot of seat time, but I've been doing a lot of public relations with Ryan Truex when he made his nationwide debut, and then through his K&N East Series. But not a lot of seat time, unfortunately.
That's all right. You seem to be able to hold it down pretty much. If you go to the test and you get a ride at Phoenix, don't seem to lose too much.
It says here she came out of USAC. She can handle a USAC. She can handle a truck.
Yeah, you're good.
Midgets are ridiculous.
Oh, man.
How many years did you race midgets?
Yeah. I started racing like quarter midgets when I was 9, and then I moved up to the bigger midgets. The full size midgets when I was like 16, I guess, and then the full size midgets when I was 17.
Cool. Yeah, I watched the midgets race at Hickory. It was the first time I'd seen them run. They were the Ford Focus midgets, and I was there with a Rolling Thunder modified, and they were outrunning us by like a second and a half a lap on a 4/10 mile flat racetrack. I was like,
yeah,
that's pretty
it's
impressive.
A lot of fun. I love racing the midgets. And the midgets at Phoenix, I wish I would have gotten a midget ride also at Phoenix, but that's a fast track for them too.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're going to race midgets on now the track that the Cup races on in Phoenix is what? It's a 1 mile.
It's one. Yeah, it's roughly around there.
Yeah, those smaller racetracks. Do they race Phoenix? Do they race midgets?
What's that?
Yeah, Yes, they run the 1 mile.
Oh, wow.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know they made gears that size for them.
They get moving.
Yeah, last year I believe they out-qualified the cup cars.
I believe
So
it.
That doesn't surprise me.
they go around there pretty fast.
Well, I'm sure they handle a lot better than the Cup car does.
Yeah.
They got them beat. They've certainly got them beat. Well, power to weight. Yeah, they've got to have them on power to weight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That's what I love about the modifieds. They're inexpensive. They have a ton of power, lightweight. The midget just looks like they took that to a new level.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I raced the modified once, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, they're cool.
An oversized go-kart, basically.
Yeah, you go car with a V8. Yeah.
That sounds like a blast.
So what's it like in the truck? How do your experiences translate? How do you feel behind the wheel of something that that is there? I believe 3,300 pounds.
Something like that.
It's a lot different. Rolling through the corners has been really different for me. But I'm lucky that I've gotten to run the midget at Phoenix, and I ran it at ORP last time I ran the truck. So at least it's giving me some pretty good speed time at the track. So while it's not nearly the same, it's at least I'm familiar with the track. So that helps with the transition to the truck.
That's cool. How do you feel now? The midgets, are they on a bias ply tire?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Are the midgets on a bias ply tire as opposed to the radial like the truck is?
Yes.
I was just wondering if you felt any difference between how you were able to manage tires during your tests, as far as the difference between driving on a bias ply and then a heavier vehicle on the less forgiving radial.
Well, we for the midgets. Hold on, I'm so sorry here. Let's see. For the midgets, they stick a lot more. So I noticed, you can get in the corner a lot harder with them because you know that they're going to stick all the way through the turn. Whereas in the truck, I wasn't sure if their grip was always going to be there. But our tires went a lot faster in the truck today than they ever have in the midget. I think after 50 laps or so with the truck, we could see the cords on the tires. So,
wow.
that was pretty different for me. The midgets, I guess it just doesn't seem on a test day like you would wear them out that much. But it's just kind of, I guess it depends on track and stuff too.
Yeah, different tracks are different. I don't have the familiar with Phoenix as far as a racing surface, but we run across that. I've run across that a few times. Some tracks are real big on tire management, and others you could get away with abusing them a little bit more.
Plus, I'm sure the weight difference.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the fact that the truck outweighs the midget by 300%.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, anyways, what other news do you have for us? What else is going on in your life?
Well, not a whole lot. Mostly just focusing on this truck deal right now. We're starting to put our 2011 plans together. So I'm looking to put together a partial schedule in the truck series. Maybe running some K&E series stuff. And I'm gonna continue the public relations stuff in MWR. So just kind of a lot of things coming together. Hopefully it's going to continue some work with the oil medics and some of the other sponsors that I have for Phoenix. So it should be a good year next year. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. Sounds great. I was just reviewing. What exactly is the oil medics? What do they do?
They're shop based in Fort Worth, Texas, and they do a variety of different things. They sell products online, so you can go and you can buy all sorts of things to make your truck greener. They sell Schaefer oil and different things to help you gain fuel mileage. And then they also have a service where you can pull your truck in when you're heading through Fort Worth, and they change your oil and they service your truck. So they just kind of have a variety of different things that you can use them nationally, or you can also use them locally.
Okay.
Cool.
Nice. Now, I had a question. Did you happen to see any of the races from the weekend?
Yes, I was at the Talladega truck race.
Oh, okay. So how do you feel about running a truck at Talladega?
I would love to run a truck at Talladega. I think everyone kind of, hopes for the best when they get out there. Most people, I know, the consensus on the pit road, everyone,
Yeah.
But I think that it would be a lot of fun this season to draft with that many cars. I think it'd be a really neat experience.
You're on the same page as me.
Hope for the best. Wear a good Hans device.
Pretty much. I'd love to be out there and try that. It's instead of trying to drive it, it's more of a thinking game and a mind game, trying to outsmart the other one. I love stuff like that.
Right. Your strategy.
Yeah.
That's why I like the fact that they have so many. At least in the Nextel Cup chase, I love the fact that they have so many different
styles.
So many different styles of tracks in the chase series. You have the super speedways. You have the what I call the cookie cutter 1.5. The
short track.
You have a short track. I really like that because plus it lends different drivers opportunities to race in their strong points and race in their weak areas.
I know it probably won't happen, but I'd like to see them add Toronto or Road America to the chase for next year.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. I'd like
just
to
throw a road course in it. And it's something new too, a new road course.
Well, they can't make too many right-hand turns.
No, sure they can. I don't see why not.
3 or 4 at least,
I mean, even the road courses, mostly, well, actually, the road courses, they're run the road courses clockwise, don't they?
Depends.
Not Watkins Glen.
Yeah, it depends on what the track's set up for and everything.
That's one way to get a lot of right-hand turns, is run it clockwise.
Yeah. Hey, go to a wrong way race, what the heck? Take your local short track and do it all right turns. See how that throws you.
I'd like to see that too.
I don't have enough control arms for that.
Go and configure that.
I take my 8-inch offset.
Hey, do like the
IMCA modified and go to make right-hand turns in it.
Oh god.
Or do what we were talking about for like an all-star race, make them do old school, like the old 10-pump jack and the tire iron.
Oh yeah.
Trying to change the tires.
Well, when they were doing races at Langley Enduros, that's what you had to use.
Yeah.
You were not allowed any power tools when they did the 125 lap races.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
I remember seeing all the pit crew guys. They would take a 4-way and cut the extraneous handles off of it and make a collar for the back of it so they could spin it.
Yeah.
So if they had to change a tire, it was the fastest way. It was just.
That'd be interesting too. Or a VIR, yeah. Somebody in the chat room had suggested VIR, throw it and do it.
Unfortunately, that format didn't really catch on nationwide.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I can't imagine why.
Too bad you can't smell all the good smells we're smelling here.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I love eating here. Oh.
Yeah, doing a radio show in the midst of a Chinese restaurant is a slightly new experience.
Oh, not just Chinese.
It's Mexican, American, Vietnamese, Thai.
Mm-hmm.
What do you call
it's
that?
a good mixture.
It's a
international cuisine.
International cuisine, okay.
And that's all very good. I love it.
It's a medley.
That's awesome.
Oh man. It's kind of
next time in
distracting.
the area, we'll have to take you down here, Caitlin.
Yeah, come down and test the truck at Langley. That'll keep you on your toes.
Okay. Sounds good.
I've seen one of the.
I've seen nationwide cars there.
I've seen the Craftsman's trucks out there testing, and it's like doing nothing but burn out the whole stretch.
I mean, if the USAR cars can run there,
yeah.
I mean,
It's just getting the right gear for it.
There's not. I'm sure there's a difference in horsepower, but the USAR, the I don't know what they call themselves now, USA Racing Division.
K&N, USA.
No, it's not K&N. No, it's USAR. It used to be Hooters Pro Cup.
Well, yeah, it's USAR.
That's very, very similar to a nationwide.
It's
car.
USAR.
Yeah. They call it just USA Racing or
USAR,
just
whatever it is.
Those are a lot of fun.
United Speed Association, who knows?
United Speed Alliance Racing.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's good stuff. NASCAR hates it.
Oh, I can't imagine.
How do you feel about the? You hear things from time to time about people feeling that as they've moved into truck divisions and nationwide divisions, feeling kind of it's more of an insider's game. Have you experienced any of that, or do you feel pretty welcome getting in the trucks, moving into the truck series?
I think that it's a learning curve. I think that if I was going to run a full season, I would probably feel more of that United Series kind of a thing. But running only 1 or 2 races a year really makes it hard to not fit into the groups, but kind of get to know people. I mean, these guys travel with each other almost every weekend out of the year. So, I mean, they're all friends. They all know each other. They're all with each other all the time.
Yeah,
So I
same.
think that coming in for just one or two races really kind of makes it hard to get to know everyone, and you're not with them on a regular basis.
Yeah, we kind of run into the same thing with our little tour. Becomes you have
See a
like
few people
10 of
every
us
now
that
and
we
then.
all get along. We all stay at the same hotel and drink beer together after the race, and then you have the other, 5 to 12 people that show up and you go, who's that?
Yeah.
Diecast.
Good.
Yum,
Any
yum.
questions?
Sorry, I was answering. They had off-topic question was anyone know where they can find a Traxxas RC Kyle Busch car? And I just asked RC car or diecast. Oh,
I'm going to
RC
say
car.
it's probably not our guest specialty area.
Well, I'm big into RC stuff, so I can actually answer that. But.
Are we ready for Annabelle to come on?
Yeah.
Caitlin, it has been awesome to talk to you. I wish you the best of luck at Phoenix.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Steve, any parting words?
Good luck at Phoenix. I can't wait to watch that. I've been looking forward to it.
I like that place. It's weird. Langley's weird. I like weird racetracks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any of them, I like weird racetracks. I don't want to watch everybody. Charlotte, Atlanta. Nah. Give me something oddball. I want the drivers to run their first lap and go, what?
What is this?
Just throw them off.
Yeah.
How do we do this?
Those ones where the first lap the driver blows the turn entry point by 50 feet, locks the front brakes up. And
They just did
That
that
kind of
at
racetrack.
the Formula One race. They just ran in Taiwan, or not Taiwan, Korea. It's a brand new racetrack. Nobody's ever been there, and they had that the whole time. Like 2-minute, 40-second laps. Everybody's like, "What are we doing?" They're missing turns,
Oh,
running
yeah.
way off.
most
Then
professional
they're-
people in the
Oh,
world
yeah,
look like they have no
and-
idea what's going on.
Give them a few laps, and they're cutting it down a minute.
So we got, another week and a half till you get to go play at PIR, huh?
Caitlin,
Yeah, week and a half, 1.5.
I
Caitlin, you
think
still there?
she hung up already.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
she's
that's
there.
good.
We're dealing with the BlackBerry technology here. It's,
Yes.
They thought they were
Okay.
gone.
we thought that you left us.
So you got about a week and a half now till the Phoenix race.
Yep, just about. I'm leaving a week from tomorrow. I'm flying out, so.
Okay.
Ah, okay. Well, you gonna plan on being on the show next weekend? I mean, next week?
I believe so. I'll have to check on my flight stuff, but I believe so.
Okay. Well, we'll be talking to you next week then.
Sounds good. Thank you guys so much. Have fun.
Have a good
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Excuse me.
Well spoken, young lady. She's cool.
Yeah, she's fun to talk to. Very smart. And apparently can drive, so
Yeah, she made it through a test in a truck and
she made it through.
did well enough to get a ride at Phoenix.
Yeah, the midgets by alone.
Oh yeah, if you can drive a midget. I like the open wheel. I like the open wheel's a part of it, but just high power to weight. Makes stuff that's hard to drive, and it teaches you things like tire management. And it teaches you to handle a really evil race car, and you don't
Yeah.
always learn that in a late model stock car.
I used to watch Ryan Newman coming through there, and I was a fan watching him before he even got into NASCAR. So once I heard that, I was like, oh, he's gonna be something. And then sure enough, now he's
Oh yeah. Well, Jeff Gordon came
Yeah,
from midgets,
him too.
open cars.
I was too young for
open
that,
wheel
but-
cars. But well, no, and it's I know that the greater part of the southeastern side of the country will hate me for saying it, but I'm not convinced that driving a late model anywhere teaches you how to be a fantastic race car driver.
trying to squeeze in.
Yeah, sit down.
Isn't that the woman's favorite place between the two guys?
Rose between
I'm
two
not
thorns.
touching that.
All right.
I'm Anna Marie.
Stephen Durbin.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Mike
Nice to
Leech,
meet
nice to
you.
We
meet
got
you.
I
Anna
know this
Marie
guy.
with us now. Anna, you're going to give everybody how to pronounce your last name. It is a mouthful.
Well, everybody just knows me as Anna Marie, so that's easy to remember. My whole name is Anna Marie Malfitana-Strawhand, so I'm a good Italian girl that married a nice Southern boy from Virginia. So that's how that all ended up.
Cool.
And I just said in the chat room that I'm not going to try to spell that last name. It's Anna Marie. Well, bye bye.
You can just copy paste it off my Facebook.
It's on the invite anyway, so it makes that easy.
So, what brings you here tonight?
Well, Roger and I, we met at Langley Speedway a couple weeks ago. I lived in Charlotte for 15 years, moved back up here with my husband and my daughter, and I worked in NASCAR, and I've worked in motorsports for many years, specializing in PR and marketing, and I have several programs that I'm involved with. I have my own business. I do motorsports related web design and graphic design, and I also do a lot of marketing and PR for racers all across the country. And last year I partnered with Tony Blanchard, who is a former development crew chief for Joey Logano, and we started a program called Race 101 out of Denver, North Carolina. And Race 101 is a consulting and teaching program that helps drivers and mechanics in their area of need. And we have a yearly scholarship program that we is an application process, and drivers between the ages of 12 to 28 can apply for our yearly scholarship. And we have several sponsors that support our scholarship. We just partnered with How Racing Enterprises, which is a wonderful partnership, and we're going to be working with them to assist us with our scholarship program and all the drivers and teams that we work with all year. Now, what Race 101 does is we pick 10 scholarship drivers each year to work with them, and we teach them the basics of racing. We start with the whole mechanical side, understanding the race car, communicating with the crew chief. We teach them everything they need to know about marketing themselves and managing themselves, the tools that they need as a professional race car driver. So basically it's not a weekend course. This is a full year program. The kids come down, from ages, we, like I said, they range from 12 to 23, so not all of them are kids. The oldest student that we have with this year is 20. But they come down for 3-day weekends. We try not to interfere with their racing schedule and their school. So they come down to Charlotte, North Carolina, Denver, North Carolina, where our shop is, for 3-day weekends, and then we really try to support their racing at home and really give them a really strong PR program behind them, help promote them all year, and we do a lot of web-based classes. So it's a program where you don't have to sell the farm and move to North Carolina, and I tell parents this, please do not do that. But it gives them an opportunity to learn from people in the industry that understand. We've got some great people involved with the program. We can mentor them all year long and into their futures. So, and every year we pick a premier driver that drives our late model house car.
Oh, nice.
So I was at Langley Speedway with one of my Race 101 drivers a couple weeks ago. I actually have two. I have, and I'm sure you guys have seen him on this show. Travis Bird was there at Langley Speedway with Trevor Edwards. Trevor Edwards was racing his modified, and he had the cancer awareness car with all the pink ribbons on it.
Oh yeah.
And that was my first visit to Langley Speedway. Travis Bird was there helping him, and they help each other. And Travis runs a late model at Hickory Motor Speedway. And I also have other drivers that race here. We've got some really amazing students, and one of our definitely standout student is Clifton Savage, who is a regular here at Langley Speedway, and he's been an amazing student this year. So I was there to support my students, and I have to tell you that what a welcome I got from Langley Speedway and all the people there. I can't even tell you what a wonderful facility, and I'm a person that's been to every unamazing racetrack.
There's a lot of unamazing ones
in this country. Little hole in the walls, and
Oh yeah.
And when I walked in and I saw flowers being, I was like, there we go. Yeah. I'm coming from a woman's point of view. You guys just go there to race, but from the fans' point of view and a woman's point of view, clean bathrooms and flowers growing, you've got my vote. And friendly people.
I have been telling people for years. I run into people at Langley and they talk about Langley. I'm like, you don't know how good you have it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I like racing at Hickory. Infield facilities are not really the greatest. East Carolina is another example. Mm-hmm. Southampton Speedway when it was open. Old Dominion.
Are you going back there? You better be careful what you say.
Great places, but these are all.
I know some of the people out of Hickory.
Great places. All of them are good places to race, and all of them are a lot of fun. But we're talking racetracks that are 60 years old.
Oh yeah, and I mean, with Langley Speedway, just the facility, being very, very nice. Number one, the way it was run, the way the show was run, the friendly people. I was welcomed with open arms, and I'm looking forward to a long relationship with Langley Speedway and all the people that are involved. And I hope to bring what I learned in NASCAR land in Carolina to Langley and to Virginia. And I have to say, when I left North Carolina, I was like, oh gosh, my racing days are over. I have to be in North Carolina. I'm not going to survive in the sport. And you know what? There is racing outside.
Frozen northern wasteland of Virginia.
And I was like, shame on me, and really, it's just been wonderful. And I'm so happy to be able to work with everyone here at the Speedway. And if I can assist drivers, that's what I hope to do. Drivers, teams, tracks, and series. I've got other programs that I'm involved with. We have SponsorEdge.com, which is a website that I developed for drivers, tracks, teams, and series. They can get on there and connect with sponsors. It's basically an interactive website for people to find sponsors, connect with sponsors, promote themselves to sponsors. You basically go online and fill out your information, and when the information is structured, SponsorEdge.com.
I've seen
It took us a year to develop it, and it's basically a sponsorship proposal that's built into a database, and sponsors can find you based on your criteria. So if a company just only wants to work with pavement drivers, then they can single out pavement drivers, certain age groups, demographics, and things like that. So Race 101 is a partner to SponsorEdge.com. Everybody kind of works together with all these companies I have going on, but I wanted to say race101.net. I didn't get a chance to say the website for Race 101. If any drivers want to apply for our scholarship program, we are now accepting applications. So please, I encourage everyone that's looking to advance their career in motorsports, whether you are an advanced driver or whether you are a little go-kart kid, look into the Race 101 program. We have possibilities for everyone. So race101.net and then SponsorEdge.com. It's definitely something for every type of motorsports related entity to connect with sponsors. So I'm very busy.
Sounds like it.
That's good.
And then, guess what? I have another thing. I partnered with Performance PR Plus, which is the company that handles DuPont Motorsports PR for Jeff Gordon. They've been doing that for the last 18 years. Kimberly Brannigan, she is the president of Performance PR Plus, and her and I sat down a few years ago, and we both have short track racing background. She grew up at Oswego Speedway in New York, and I grew up.
Oh, that's a famous one.
Yeah, it's an amazing racetrack. And we grew up amongst the super modified race cars, which I love to get the supers. There's a little plug for the super modifieds to come to Langley Speedway. That would be a show.
It would be ridiculous.
Yeah.
I also, that would be, the ISMA Super Modifieds is something that I'm involved with, and so they would put on a wonderful show. So we get the supers there. They would fly.
An experienced driver. I'd be happy to drive one for you.
You ever seen a super race?
I have not actually seen one in person. I'd love to see
You
one.
need to. They raced at Concord 2 years ago for the North-South Shootout. Yeah, and basically I think the back straightaway speeds were clocking right around.
They had to be 155.
They were at least like right around the 160.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, that little IMCA car was
I think they're right around there.
135 in the
Yeah.
IMCA car. Well, calling our modifieds an IMCA car is a little bit of a stretch, but.
Well, you know, Johnny Benson has a super modified.
Cool.
And he owns a team, and they're pretty exciting race cars. They put on a good show, and they pack the grandstand. So I need to talk to Chuck about that, because
anything that's that
we'd
crazy.
love to get the super modifieds out. But that's my plug for super modified racing. But Kimberly and I, we grew up around super modified racing. She ended up working for Jeff Gordon. I ended up working for several Busch teams when I was down there. Worked with Tim Fedewa and Todd Bodine. But over the years, we saw a trend in motorsports where we saw young drivers and parents that were coming down to Charlotte, basically selling the farm, spending all their money, and ending up pretty much getting ripped off. There were a lot of bad people out there that were promising them the world, and they got nothing out of it. And I literally had a driver one time whose parents did sell the farm. They literally sold the farm to come down there, and ended up with a bad situation. So we decided to put together the Driver Advancement Marketing Summit. Now I know that is a long name, but what it does is it's a yearly seminar. It lasts 2 days, and we have it in this year. This is our 4th year. This year we're going to have it at the NASCAR Hall of Fame. If you go to performanceprplus.com, you click on the summit logo and you can get the information. But this is another opportunity for up-and-coming drivers and their parents, people that want to promote a young driver into the sport that's looking to advance their career. And how we do this is we bring in speakers in the sport that are very, very respected, and they basically educate these young drivers, and they can interact, ask questions. So it's 2 days. It's wonderful. It's an opportunity for young drivers and their parents to meet the likes of Larry McReynolds is going to be one of our speakers this year. We're very, very excited to have Larry. Ned Jarrett, who is a Hall of Fame inductee this year. You know, and we want to also teach these drivers that, you know, here is the realities of this. Don't go into this blindly. Just because you see this on TV and you see all this glamour, you know, you need to fully understand what you're doing, where you're spending your money, you know, how to really properly do this and market yourself. And then make the best of your own career. You know, not everybody has to make it to NASCAR, and even the ones that do, your career only lasts so long, so you've got to have backup plans. You've got to, you know, so these are people that know. We have people from Hendrick Motorsports. We're really excited this year. We've got Billy Venturini, who has one of the top ARCA development teams right now. So right now it's $295 to register for a 2-day seminar. You get in front of these people. If you are a young up-and-coming driver, really, for $295, mom, dad, you know, real educate. I can't tell you enough. Educate yourself. You know, make the connections, talk to people, check people out, talk to people that know about advancing your career, because you know, it's a lot of money and a lot of sacrifice, and so make sure that you've got your education together before you make these jumps.
Yeah. I know you mentioned the ages, the split. Is there an actual age limit?
Well, for the Driver Advancement Marketing Summit, which is the 2-day seminar, there is no age limit. Okay. There is no age limit. We do focus on young up-and-coming drivers, and that's basically who we're speaking to. But this year we're having a sponsorship roundtable talking about sponsorships in motorsports, and we have people there. One of our speakers is from Bank of America, who is the global marketing director for Bank of America, so you can't get any bigger than that. Yeah. About motorsports sponsorships. So these guys will tell you, this is what happens when a sponsorship proposal comes across my desk, and this is what I do when I look at it, and these are the kind that get tossed in the trash, and these are the kind that I look at. So it's coming basically from the horse's mouth. So, you know, you're going to learn so much, and I'm going to be one of the speakers I am every year. I go deeply into web-related marketing, you know, how to really use social networking to market yourself properly, because that's everything right now. And, you know, there's a lot of really good things you can learn, but there's no age limit, and I think it's really good for parents of drivers and even PR people, aspiring marketing and PR people. It's really good for them to come to that too. So
now you've been talking about the show, not the show, but your
I got 4 of them. Race
okay.
101,
okay.
Sponsor Edge.
Now, what I basically want to do, now you've got some people out here that are going to be watching the show.
Yes.
We're talking people that are running karts,
yes,
running arena racing cars, guys that are in the small world, and they want to know some of the do's and don'ts that you can tell them right now.
Right now, I can tell them a lot of do's and don'ts. You know, when you are a parent and you're getting your child into racing, whether you start them in karts, bandoleros, whatever, you know, I'm starting with the little kids, okay, and you decide, what if you find out your child is really talented and he wants to move on. You know, you have to have your budget together because it's very, 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 very expensive. And I have a lot of parents that come to me after maybe 2 or 3 years of running their child in carts where it's affordable for them. They find out Johnny or Susie has some talent, then all of a sudden they need sponsorship and they panic. And they're like, we've gone as far as we can go. You know, we can't spend any more money, you know, but we want to continue his career or her career. You know, what do we do? So the first thing I ask them is, do you have any money set aside for a marketing budget? Well, no, you know, we put everything into the race car. We spent our last dime on the race car. Well, that is the biggest mistake people can make. You know, think ahead of the game. At every level of motorsports, I don't care if you run a street stock. I don't care if you are, you know, the guy or girl married with 3 kids and you're racing on the weekend. You know, you have got to set something aside to market yourself. Because eventually your paycheck is going to run out and you're going to have to go after some sponsorship in one shape or form. And to lure sponsors in, you've got to have things together to pull them in. Whether it be website, hero cards, you know, you're going to go do appearances, whatever. You've got to be able to do something to give back to the sponsor. You have to think of them, their business, and what they're going to expect of you. If you go and sit down with a sponsor and they say, well, how are you going to promote me? What do you got? Blah, 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 and you've got nothing to show them. You know, even if you're Joe Schmo that wins every week, you know, you've got to have your marketing things in place, and you have to have a marketing budget set aside so that you take the time to put a marketing package together. You take the time to go out and put the car on display for somebody and volunteer over at their store for the weekend. You know, you need to really, really think about the marketing side of it and not just focus on the racing, because it's so crucial. It really is. And get education. There's so much stuff on the web, not just my programs, but there's a lot of stuff on the web to educate yourself.
I mean, look at
Tons
this.
of stuff.
We offer
what we're doing, we're educating right now.
A lot of drivers we bring on here.
Absolutely.
And
a chance.
Hey, cost them nothing. Come down, enjoy some time, get some airtime, get some face time.
Absolutely. Get PR for yourself. And that free PR, there you go. Every track either has a radio show, TV show. Go get to know your track announcer. Usually they're involved with some type of media in some way. You know, get yourself as much media attention as you can, because that's free advertising for yourself. Absolutely.
Exactly.
You know, and the guys and gals that do that are going to be the ones that really lure in the sponsors, because the sponsors are going to see that they're taking the extra time to go out and promote them and make them known. You know, and the thing is you have to give to get. You've got to go and put your car on display places. Do the radio show. If the track is going to have a car show, you know, involve yourself in all those things. Every opportunity that you see to do PR and market yourself. And then, you know, I hate to see that one of the things I do is when I go on Facebook and these social networking stuff, and I see drivers, race car drivers or teams or whatever that go on there, and they only talk about what happened racing-wise to them. And what they need to do is they need to use the social media, use their websites, and show what they do for their sponsors week in and week out. I don't care if it's 2 photos, you know, because that's a documentation, a timeline. It's not just racing stats. You know, it's not like I finished 5th, I finished 4th. You know, document. It may take a whole year of you documenting what you've done on the PR side for the following year to prepare yourself to get a sponsor.
Anybody that's in racing should learn that this year they should already be planning for next year.
Absolutely. It doesn't come like that. And, you know, picking up the phone to Joe's Pizza and be like, hey, I got a car, I'm winning, da-da-da, you want to sponsor me? You know?
Now, I will tell you some of
Doesn't
the
always
stuff
work.
I've seen.
Yeah, they'll give you pizza.
Free. Well, yeah. I mean, product deals are great. Product deals are the best.
Actually, there's not value in a product sponsor, but it's really hard to get Holiday Inn to take your brake pads in exchange for a room.
Hey.
Now, see, what you do is you get, say, here's a certificate allowing you this, and you can turn around and do that.
Right.
And sell them if you want to, and that way you can bring it around. But let them know in advance that that's some of the
Right.
stuff. I'm working some deals with some of the computer companies that I know of
Right.
that hopefully they're going to give us product, and we can turn around and sell the product and use the money from the product
Right.
to finance racing.
Well, it's interesting that you said that, because a lot of companies right now, and especially when you start getting into regional sponsorships and even some local sponsorships, they want to see a return on their investment right away. And even somebody that maybe just has a, like there's a product, a guy's making salsa and marketing it to the local grocery stores or whatever. A lot of people now are saying, well, we want to base our sponsorship on sales. And that's even happening at the cup levels. So I think that drivers need to understand how to be a salesperson now. And they really need to understand how to sell their sponsor's product.
Yeah, old school was you had Childress. Childress went and found sponsors for Childress.
Right.
So he puts you in the car and then sends out the drivers wherever, however they want to do it. Nowadays, the drivers are having to shop
Exactly.
and bring who they want in.
Right, and they want to see you being able to sell their product. They want a celebrity spokesperson that's also can get out of the race car and sell their product. So, you have to understand the whole sales part of it. And even if the guy down the street's going to give you free pizza for your team, you treat that like it's gold. Treat that sponsor like he is.
That's when you bring your other sponsors over.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you are the
Sponsors,
greatest
call him for
guy.
pizza.
Absolutely.
And then next year he might write you a check, or he might know somebody. And that's the other thing where I want to get to is relationships. Most sponsors come from relationships. People that you know. We're talking about the people that you know in your neighborhood, Mr. Rogers. It's true.
Or
it's very
who
true.
you already are
It's all
sponsoring with. You get a good deal going with them. They're happy with you. They talk to their friends and maybe in
And
other
so on,
owners
and so
of
on.
other companies. Talking about the car shows, I've seen guys at car shows that have their car out there and somebody will come along and give them $50, $100, some of the local drivers
Right.
to help whatever with.
Yeah.
And every
that,
little
Mike?
bit helps.
No.
Oops.
But it's depressing to me when I go to a car show and it's not poorly attended by teams with their cars, because if you go up and down pit road and you ask every team what their problem is, it's always money. And it's always the inability to find sponsorship that that's their root cause of their lack of financing. But then they don't want to do the things that it's going to take to get the sponsorship.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've got to sacrifice to do
Now,
those things.
I'm going to give you there's a massive amount of people nowadays, the younger kids coming up, they want it to be delivered to the front door, and they don't have to do nothing other than open the door
Yes.
and accept it.
That's okay. Us old guys that know how it works, that's fine. They can sit and wait.
And
get it.
that's and I hate to say that, I see that in all walks of life.
Well, it's true. I think, everybody's thinking it can be handed to them. My grandfather used to say, take out a $5 ad, nothing's going to drop on your head. It just doesn't drop on your head. You've got to take out of that $5 ad and let people know what you're doing. You've got to go out there and promote yourself. And, it's just like in business. I can sit here and be like, okay, I'm starting business in Virginia, Well, if I don't get out there and advertise and hustle and build relationships and whatever.
Yeah, because you could take, and for instance, Mike, you could go out to the Children's Hospital of King's Daughter, contact the local TV people, radio people, send out a press release, whatever. Go out, visit, autographs, have fun with the kids. Hopefully, you know somebody enough in the TV that has some say so and says, "Hey, let's go out and follow Mike." And then all of a sudden, that's a whole lot of good free stuff. Granted, yes, you're going to be doing good, helping the kids, whatever it may be with. But that's something you've got to go out there and beat the streets for.
And it's interesting you brought that up, because charity work is so important for a race car driver to do that. And you need to be genuine about what you're doing. You need to really care about your cause. And, yes, it's part of PR, and it's part of getting PR for yourself. But, from charity work, a lot of wonderful things can come from that, funding, sponsorship, things like that. Because a lot of companies want to support the charities, and they can do that indirectly with you being the vehicle to promote the charity for them. So, that's something that's definitely very important. And, Clifton, our Race 101 driver Clifton did a great event a couple of weeks ago over for the King's Daughters. I was so proud of him. And he's really shown, that, and he went, and he's trying to advance into just from the carts, right, to U-Car, and that's like huge for him. So, he's doing whatever he can, even if it's something locally, and he's making a name for himself at Langley Speedway, and that's what it's all about. Not everybody is going to make it to NASCAR. That's that's impossible. Yeah. But if you can be a star at your speedway and you can make a great career with a touring series or whatever, you've had a successful career.
I mean, there are many guys that I knew when I was racing. That's all they did in the late model series and made a living at it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Absolutely.
That was their thing. They ran late model racing. They got paid for it. The sponsors, of course, are writing checks for the car and his racing and his appearances and whatever else, and that's what a lot of stuff. Talking about Clifton and everything from the AIK race that we just did. Now, I don't know if you watched the show or heard anything from Clifton about it last Wednesday. We've already got one truck driver, two truck drivers signed up from last week. We had 3 people
Wonderful.
We had on last week's show
for the next one in January.
They're going to do the one
That's awesome.
Plan in January, and that was just simply we had them on the show, talked to them, talked about it, automatically got 3 signed right up.
See, and it really, that took a little bit of his time to do that. He had to really take but the one thing that was really wonderful to me was the way all of the racers from Langley, the staff from Langley, everybody, and your show and the community supported it. I thought it was wonderful, and I will have to say that I was so impressed when I went into that karting center and I saw all of those racers from Langley supporting a fellow driver. I thought that was amazing.
I just
thought that was wonderful.
Go-kart for me.
You one that won't die on the start?
Yeah, we qualified 3rd. He gets out there, and of course, you get jumping around on carts. The one we wind up with, he gives it the gas that dies on the start.
I was like, oh.
I just wish I had gone and tested. It's been about 10 years since I raced one of those things.
You guys look like you were having fun.
10 years.
I fought out like 4 times.
10 years and at least 55 pounds since the last time I raced a go-kart.
It was a blast.
And I used to run all over top of people down at VLK in Concord and pick on them. Like, you think you're so great because you drive a late model or you drive a truck. And then I come out of a modified and I get in that little thing and I don't know who it was. I think it was one of the 10-year-old kids that almost killed me.
Might be me.
Let me ask you this. So you went down to North Carolina to race.
I went to North Wilkesboro last weekend and raced.
Okay, so what division are you racing?
With the Rolling Thunder Modifieds.
Okay, so you're racing with Trevor.
Yep.
Okay, all right.
He's a 5 car.
I'm the 5.
You're the 5. Okay. All right, so I'm putting 2 together. So are you in the process right now of trying to advance your career, and you're down there you're working on that?
We I also own an auto repair shop. I'm kind of like you. I have an auto repair shop. We're getting ready to break into towing as well, so that's taking up time. Plus, I constantly I believe in pursuing my education. So I'm
that's
involved
good.
in
Very
that
good.
as well.
Have your backup plan.
Absolutely, but no, we would like to advance our modified operation. I really enjoy touring. I feel like it's a great opportunity to. It's a great opportunity not only to race, which I love, but it's a great opportunity to promote for somebody.
Right.
The regional exposure is great. And honestly, I'd really like to advance into Southern Modified Tour or even one of the Northern tours. But
Are you from here originally?
I'm from here, born and raised here. I started racing street stocks at Langley in 2002. Then I raced go-karts. I worked as a crew member for a USAR Hooters Pro Cup team. Raced trucks. I've started races and all kinds of things, but primarily it's been modifieds for the last 4 years. And what started as a hobby has turned into something. It's getting more serious each year.
Wow. That's great.
The AIK event was kind of neat for me. That was the first time I ever landed a corporate sponsor for anything, and we got Old Point National Bank to
How
sponsor
did that
our
work
team.
for you? How did you work that deal?
I just put together a proposal, and I bank with Old Point, so I used my connection there, and I put together a
He's
proposal.
a customer.
Yep.
Sent it over to her. She forwarded it over to marketing. Marketing got back with me, and we were able to put together a deal. So it's pretty cool.
That's
I'm gonna have to hit
great.
Next, I've got 5 or 6 accounts over there. So.
That brings me to my
We got
other
them on
point.
TV. We got them on TV,
Yeah.
so
Oh, yeah.
we got them plugged.
That brings me to my other point. Never go pitch a sponsor and you know nothing about their company. That doesn't research who you are pitching first.
Before
I
you
totally
do it,
understand. And being a customer is an even better thing. So how's that working out for you? Are you expanding your program?
We are expanding in the sense that I believe we're probably going to purchase a new car this year. We're not trying to add another car or anything like that, but we're expanding. We always want to be more competitive. I mean, even if we didn't go out, we finished third in points this year. Even if we'd have gone out and wired and stunk the place up and won every race, won the championship, we would still want to be better next year.
Yep.
So we're looking at possibly getting another car. Definitely expanding in terms of our pit equipment and stuff like that.
How
Even
are you
some more
marketing
personnel.
yourself and your program?
We've been doing a lot of stuff with Roger. We generally try very hard to make the car available at almost any time for almost any reason. If I know somebody that wants a race car somewhere, whether they're sponsoring me or not,
Has that generated more sponsorship for you in some ways?
it has been a very, very good thing for my business personally, for Professional Diagnostics, my auto repair shop.
So it comes back through that way.
Well, and it makes it easier for
It's on the race car, so
It all comes
and it
through.
makes it easier for me to sell a sponsor deal
Right.
because when I'm talking to somebody, I can say, "Look, guys, I know that customers will come in from this."
Because you're a businessman and you're coming from a
Absolutely.
business standpoint. Absolutely.
It takes the right person and it takes the right deal, but I
Right.
do know that motorsports marketing works for companies. And my girlfriend does a lot of PR stuff with me. We've been working on proposals for 2011.
That's great.
So we're just,
It's good to have a girlfriend, mom, brother, sister, anybody that's going to go out there and do that for you.
she's a big help. And she's
to help you out.
It takes one thing, I believe very strongly, that no matter how well-rounded of an individual you are, and I believe in trying to advance your education, certain people are better at certain things.
Yeah.
I have a good technical mind. I'm very good at math. I'm good with accounting. I'm good with business. I'm good with numbers. My girlfriend is so much better at this looks good, this will sell, this sounds right. She's so much better.
Well, the
at this
point
stuff.
is that you're listening to her, so that's
Absolutely.
good.
Absolutely.
that's the same with me. When I go to do a lot of stuff, when I start writing stuff up, first thing I do is take it to my wife. Proofread
Smart man.
that sucker.
Yep. I did that with my mom too. She did the same thing.
So tell me about you.
Well, right now I'm a mechanic in the Navy. I've been around racing my whole life. Hadn't had many opportunities to actually get to drive, which has been my downfall. I did, however, land a ride in a Lafferty Motorsports truck for a test. They tried me out. They were very impressed. I had to find my own sponsor, which I had 4 or 5 interested. One building burned up and ended up going under. It was a lot of bad luck with that. So they all ended up falling out, and then I transferred and moved up here, and kind of took a break from it. Then I found Roger, and he's kind of taking me under my wing, and teaching me a lot, and
That's
trying to
wonderful.
pick it back up now. My dad was an engine builder at DEI, which helps a lot. So I've been around that area
Yeah.
a lot, and he knows quite a few people that willing to help out. So it's just kind of a slow process, but I'm still working.
So do you have something lined up for Langley next year?
That's what we're trying to
You're
figure
working
out.
on that. You're working on that right now.
Yeah, we're trying to figure that out. A few possibilities, but we have to see what happens.
Well, hey, you're doing this, and he's out there, and you're working with Roger, and you're networking, you're communicating, you're marketing yourself, you're picking up the phone, and hey, eventually somebody's going to say, you can drive my car, and you can't give up. You just got to keep hustling, and make those connections. Even if one of the best advice I can tell drivers is, even if you're not racing, go to the track and make those connections. Because you never know. Shoe Leather Express over here.
I had to beat him. We were at Hickory Motorsports. Not Hickory, the Rockingham. During one of the last races of ARCA, and all these guys are floating around, and trying to get him to go over and just to shake hands and say, "Hi, I'm Hudson. How you doing?"
I was parked next. Our hall was parked next to him, but I don't want to bother him because we was getting ready for qualifying.
He was trying to be polite.
So I was just, driving to drive right. I don't want to.
But I was telling him while he's standing still, just sitting there looking around, go over, shake his hand, say hi. You know, if I'm walking around and I run into somebody, I'm going up and down a set of stairs. Hey.
That's what I'm having to get used to.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the hardest thing for a race car driver is to go to the track and they're not racing, and it's very frustrating. But you have to look at it as an opportunity, and you've done. By the way, we're talking to Hudson Hall over here.
Yeah, he's sitting on the side.
And the very first time I met Hudson, I shook his hand and I said, "Do you have a business card?" He was like, "No, I've been waiting on somebody to make them, and I'm waiting forever." First rule, race car drivers, business cards with your picture on them, with all your information on them. The first thing I did, I went home and I designed a business card for Hudson, and I brought them to him tonight, and he has them. And as a matter of fact, we'll show you a shot later. But it's crucial. Even if your mom, dad, and your kids are racing, have some type of business card, some type of takeaway. You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to run into.
Who was it, Carl Edwards? Wasn't it?
Carl Edwards, he did that.
Very famous story with Carl Edwards.
Let's see, now, I don't know if y'all heard, but while Hudson was going to the men's room, it was. I said, "What happened to all the business cards I had made up for you?" "Oh, I ran out of them." It'd be nice if he says, "Hey, I ran out of business cards. Need some more."
And that brings me back to another point. Manage your communications. You wouldn't show up at the racetrack without enough tires. You got to remember those things too. Business cards, just stick them in your back pocket because you never know who you're going to run into. Yep. So it's so important.
Speaking of the Carl Edwards thing, one of my dad's good friends, he used to work with the DEI. He's not the head president, but I think he's second in line for the NASCAR Technical Institute in Mooresville, and he's been a big help. Well, when I did the test for the truck, he helped me out a lot. So I know he used to run there. He used to work for AJ Foyt, and he told me how they ran there, and he told me don't ever go past half throttle. He gave me a lot of pointers where to run. And I took that to heart, and it helped out a lot.
That brings me to my other point.
Yeah, this menu right here. Want to see that menu? It's very good. Now I'm going to look at some of the things in the menu. You can hold that up. That's good.
Now we're advertising for the place that we are at.
In Espanol, mi amigo.
Moonstar. And that even restaurants, if your crew wants to go and eat afterwards, they'll feed you and advertise for them.
We're here generally every Wednesday, and it's great every time we come here.
I haven't eaten anything yet, but I'm definitely going to order something.
Cracker Barrel will be sponsoring us next year, and I'll have to go to every single one of them on the East Coast.
Cracker Barrel's great too. Cracker Barrel. But that brings me to my other point. I was going to say, how important has finding mentorship been for your career? It's crucial. You said you had Roger, and you have people at DEI, and I'm sure you have very special mentors. And Hudson and I were talking about people that have assisted him throughout the years. Finding these mentors that can kind of take you and bring you and help you, and it can be anybody, that you can go to. Just don't be afraid to go up and say, I need help. Do you mind if I ask a couple questions? And I don't know what to do and where to go. And people want to help racers.
And racers are very giving in that respect for the most part. It's I remember we've always been. As long as I can remember, we've been one of the teams that had less financing than a lot of the people we were racing against. But I had a guy come up to me at Langley the last time we were over and say, "Oh my gosh, do you have a spare fuel pump?" It's one of the few spare parts that we actually carried around. It's here. It never even crossed my mind. I may need that, and I may never see my $200 spare fuel pump again. But people have always been willing to do that for me. I mean, over the years when things have gone wrong, there's always sometimes people that you didn't even know that were willing to give, just for the sake of competitiveness.
So a perfect example is that I went down and helped out Matt Mullins one night, and we did an oil change and didn't realize we didn't have an extra oil filter, and just asking other people. Somebody's had an oil filter right there.
Yeah. That's what it's all about.
Like, okay, awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had when we were at Wilkesboro, we lost the pilot bushing in the back of the engine.
Yep.
Trevor actually drove down to Mooresville and picked up a couple of pilot bushings.
We got the Zoom feature here.
Picked up a couple of pilot bushings for us.
Okay.
From one of their vendors down there, so we can make the show.
Hudson Hall.
This down. Okay. The reason I designed business cards like this for race car drivers is because I don't know if y'all know about the PRI show, Performance Racing Industry Show. There's a lot of racing trade shows that are coming up here. They're fantastic opportunities for drivers to go and network with people in the industry.
Can you say that again? Because we're going to be in Florida.
Performance Racing Industry, and you have until November 7th to get your credentials in. You have to be credentialed to go to the PRI show. You can go to their website, performanceracingindustry.com, to get credentials. Basically, you just sign up as a race team, and you have to show that you are officially a race team, and you need to at least have a business card copied or your business license to get credentials. So it's crucial that you guys have business cards. But I usually have a few of my clients, drivers, come with me to the PRI show, and we walk around the show and do our networking. And one of my racers, Jeremy Frankowski, he's an open wheel driver that's working on some stock car opportunities, and he's been doing very well. But he handed his business card to somebody in a booth, and they were like, "Oh, awesome, your picture's on this." He was like, "Now I can, I'll remember you, and it's so important. Your face is so important." Okay, so get your pictures on everything. And the worst thing that you could ever do is if I go to a driver's website and it takes me 20 minutes to find what they look like. It's like playing Where's Waldo.
Pretty much.
Because you're like, I have this driver email me the other night. What can you do to help us? Here's our website. So I go to the website. It took me 15 minutes to find a picture of the driver. They had a picture of it in his bio, and he had his helmet on, he had the headstock on, he was a sprint car driver. And I was like, as a sponsor, the first thing I want to do is I want to see what this guy or gal looks like to see if they can market my product. So good photography, people. Get to know your track photographer and get to know your track radio guy.
Let's talk racing.
So it's really, really important. Did anybody have any questions for me?
We're not radio, we're TV.
We're TV. That's right. We're radio too.
It's radio and television. I just got my hair done today.
I'm actually heckling my girlfriend because we are going to be in Florida, in Orlando, the weekend of the PRI show. I have credentials and she will not let me go.
What?
Yeah, she says
she's your PR girl, right?
She says it is a family vacation. You are doing family things. You are not going to the racing show.
Listen, just go for just go for a couple hours. It's a huge
Here she is.
show.
She's typing a message.
She will like the PRI show.
He's going to Rep Langley.
Because she can be there promoting you and making connections for you, right? No children. Children are not allowed. You can't go to the PRI show to solicit sponsorship. They will basically throw you off the floor.
Yes.
So, but you need to be there to network, get your face seen, get to meet people, look for new products. It's a great, great show. I'm bringing all my Race 101 kids are going to be there. We'll have a booth space for some of the other programs that I'm involved with. So, it's worth going to. It really, really is.
See, Mickey more important that week.
You can see Mickey later.
You're going to be there, a whole week?
Yeah, we're going to be there for 9 days.
More than a week.
So, but did anybody have any? Does anybody have any questions for me online that they want to know anything about sponsorship proposals, websites, any of the events that I'm doing? I hope they can learn
they did
from the
ask
websites.
a lot about, because a lot of things are being thrown out there for a while real quick.
A lot of them were taking notes and
They were trying to take notes and said, what was that? What was that? What was
because
this?
it doesn't keep it all in here, so they go back up
I
and it's
talk very fast.
Well, the simple thing I told them, says, we archive the show.
Yep.
Sometime tomorrow, the archive will be available. Just rewatch it, and you'll get all the stuff you need.
Yep.
They can learn about me on my 2 websites. I have 2 companies that I own, Drive-In Web Design and Marketing, which is now based out of Virginia Beach, Virginia. Woo! and motorsportsconsultantservices.com, and my partner companies, which are all affiliated with Race 101 and Sponsor Edge and Driver Advancement Summit. But I really feel very passionate about helping racers. I really feel very passionate about changing the sport so that guys that really work hard and gals that really work hard and are deserving of opportunities, and it's not always the guy or the gal that has the most money. It's the guy or the gal that really works hard, knows how to promote and market themselves, has the talent behind it, gets an opportunity. And I'm hoping the sport is starting to change that way. And please, you know, if mom and dad, you know, feel like they can't go any further spending money, or you've spent as much as you can out of your pocket, if you got to take a year off from racing, oh well, take that year off. It's not the end of the world. Use that year to work on sponsorship, you know? Or
if you feel you need to stay out there, hit selective races, which are high profile, and then save some of the money that you're going to be racing through the year for your PR budget.
Be selective. And, you know, I have...
Skip the 9-car show.
Yeah.
Well, I have two drivers right now. Amazing stories. I have one driver, Buster Bennett. Great driver at Concord Speedway. Was really big in the 90s. You know, won championships at Concord. Had a bunch of opportunities happening for him. He was in his early 20s. You know, a lot of connections, ready to go. And his son was diagnosed with autism. And he basically had to quit racing and, you know, help with his son. And he took quite a few years off. And so recently he decided to make a comeback. And he's become a businessman similar to you. He has an auto repair business. And he made several connections through his auto repair business. So now he goes back and he's trying to start where he left off. Now everybody wants money. So, you know, he's like, okay. So he is basically going out doing the same thing like you and going out and putting deals together. And he basically had to take time off for family reasons. And then, you know, he's making a comeback and he's learned a lot. He's taken what he's learned and he's opening opportunities for himself just by understanding the marketing side of racing and being able to sell himself to sponsors. And same thing with I have another driver, Danny Booth, out of Texas. He took 5 years off to go work in Iraq in support of the U.S. military and basically save as much money as he possibly could because his dream was to go run the USMTS series. And at the time, there was no way he could do it. And so he basically worked, you know, away from his family, you know, and everything, and saved as much money as he could. And now he's coming back and he's gonna live his dream.
There you go.
So those are very inspiring stories. I think nobody should ever give up their dream, but you need to be realistic. And, you know, you need to understand, hey, you know, if I got to park it, I got to park it, but use that time constructively and get out there and sell and market yourself. You're going to come back even better.
So at least take it all in steps, too, for your goal. And don't just jump straight for NASCAR. You know, just start driving. For me, like, I just want to drive anything right now. It don't matter. And then just keep it going from there and just keep moving up. See how it works from there. We'll take advantage of whatever comes your way.
That's great. And, you know, Hudson and I were just talking. Hudson is basically utilizing his relationships that he's built over the last few years. And he's learned how to market himself and learn how to bring companies together. The B2B thing is very crucial. Every race car driver should understand what B2B means. Business to business. And it's when companies want to do business with other companies. And this is what big motorsports, even on a local level, with Langley is doing a lot of business to business. You're doing business to business deals right here, bringing people together, you know, companies. It's all about, hey, you know, Joe Pizza, I can bring you together with this sausage company, you know, or I can bring you together, you know, so everybody helps each other, and in turn, you're going to get sponsorship dollars because you're able to assist their business.
Right.
So
Well, is everybody feeling hungry?
Yeah.
I think we're starving. I was just talking about sausage, so we need to have something. Although I'm on a diet right now, so I have to be really careful. But
Well, you'll be glad you can always eat lots of vegetables.
I see some low-calorie things here.
Well, I'd like to thank everybody for being with us tonight on Let's Talk Racing. Anna, we was enjoying.
Thank you.
having you
It's
here.
my pleasure.
A lot of good information.
And Steve,
Yeah.
of course, and Michael popping in here. Too bad you didn't get to bring out the poor car, but that's all right too.
I really wanted to bring the race car out here, but we've been jumping through hoops for the last 3 days
That's
at the
all right.
shop, so it's
I'll beat you up about it later. Anyway, everybody have a good night, and we'll see you all next week. See ya.
Thank you.